Welcome to A Moment in Time with Taylor. Thank you so much for tuning in live, and if you're watching this after the fact on the replay, thanks for being here. Trying a little bit different angle, not sure how it's going to go, but sometimes people complain that my camera's too far away when I'm doing my yoga, so I figure I'd give it a chance. No sound. No sound for you, Pringles? Can the rest of you guys hear me? My microphone seems to be working. You do have sound. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to A Moment in Time with Taylor. And please do click the link in the description and in the profile, nextjuice.com/support. Help us to keep this channel going and growing together like all of these beautiful souls. Thank you guys so much for contributing on the website over the last 30 days. Sorry for a little bit of low energy tonight. Rhodey, first comment of the broadcast. I do have pretty bad cramps. It's day one of my flow, so I am just going to take it really, really easy. Hey, Maggie, how are you? Hey, Carrie. Okay, everyone can hear good. Hi, Frankie. Zero, I see you? What? Oh, I see you? Is that what we were saying here? Wait, why did that person get muted? No, Edward is not doing downward dog making a smoothie. That was a Periscope mute. The moderator didn't even mute you. Periscope just automatically muted you just for saying downward dog. That's absolutely ridiculous. Periscope, please stop. How can two people be on the same scope at the same time? We all broadcast on this channel, so we can go live at the same time. I know. Yoga with cramps and blood. No, there's not going to be any blood. Excuse me, but there will be cramps. Bonjour. Yeah, we're going with the flow, exactly. Hey, thank you. Aunt Flo's in town. Exactly. Love squirts. How are you, Banana, my love? It is uterus week, exactly, so I did take a little candy off of the desk when we were leaving Planet Fitness earlier, so. Cramps are the worst, yes. There's an auto mute. Yeah, Periscope automatically mutes comments that have questionable words in them, like cuss words and stuff. I thought it stopped, but apparently they're still doing that. Nikki, thank you for inviting. Flow, exactly, flow. Okay, it actually feels good to lay back. So, I'll start out with teaching the ladies a little something for their cramps in case they have the same problem as me and they get pretty crampy. No, all they have are little like fruit Tootsie Roll things. What do they call them? Like Fruities or something on the counter at my gym. I don't know why, but they're there. Yeah, please don't call me sexy. You will be muted. Lord Hummus, welcome to Periscope. So you might see back here, now that I've moved out of the way, these props. These are your friend with yoga. You can use blocks, a strap, a blanket, a bolster. All these different things come in handy during your yoga practice. If you have any questions about anything as we go, feel free to ask. I am a certified Hatha yoga teacher, but just so you know, I can't see you. I don't know your skill level. I don't know your history of surgery or accidents or injuries, anything like that. So I can't really teach you yoga, but if you have questions, we can talk about it, but I'm released from all liability if you hurt yourself trying to do something that I'm doing here, because there's a lot of stuff you probably shouldn't be doing. So listen to your body and only do what actually feels good to you. And as always, consult a doctor before starting any new movement program. Let's get into it, shall we? I'm gonna go over here. I'm going to show you how to set up a recliner, a yoga recliner. So you're going to need one bolster pillow like this. I like the rectangular bolsters, but there's round bolsters as well. You can get them in different shapes and sizes, whatever tickles your fancy. And then you make, you make a little, kind of like a T, I guess. So one of the blocks is on its tallest position, so it's on the short edge, and one is on what I call level 2. So if you think of this as level 1, level 1, level 2, level 3, we're halfway down. We're on the long edge, the long narrow edge. Okay, so it's like a T here. Turn it so you can see it from all different angles. In front of a white wall might be a little easier to see. Bring it close. So this is what you're building here on one edge, okay? Looks like this. And this is going to go underneath your bolster so you can lay back on it. So the trick with cramps is that when we have cramps, what we want to do is we want to curl up. And we want to curl up into a ball like a fetal position. But that's actually the opposite of what's actually going to relieve your cramps, which is extension, opening up that area. Now we might want to curl up because when we have gas, that does help to relieve gas. So quickly I'll show you gas relieving pose or wind relieving pose, which is when we just lay on our backs and bring our knees into our chest. So this is really good for relieving gas. Now gas is caused by gas or air in our digestive system. Menstrual cramps are not caused by that. They're not the same as gas, although you might be more gassy during your time of the month, so this might still feel good for you if you have gas, or just in general. But because it's cramping, so that's the pain that we feel from cramps, from menstrual cramps, is the muscle of the uterus is contracting and it's trying to break off the lining of the wall there because you didn't get pregnant. So it's shedding its lining so it can prepare for a new month, for a new cycle, so it's prepared for if you do get pregnant. Now if you want to go into full gas relieving pose, you hold your legs, and you might not be able to get your elbows like this. You can maybe hold your shins or behind your thighs, and you're going to take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, you just gently lift your head towards your knees, squeezing out the air, and then inhaling to release. You might want to release the legs at the same time. You can release the legs long. I'm just trying not to kick over my little block set up over there for in a moment from now. You can do half gas relieving pose, which is one leg straight on the ground, one leg in towards your chest. Just be sure you have awareness of your core and your abdomen here, because this kind of asymmetrical pose can aggravate your SI joint, your sacroiliac joint, which is right at the base. It's right about here where your sacrum meets your hip. So your low back and your hip bone have a very small little joint right here. It's a small amount of space there called the sacroiliac joint or space. And people who do a lot of yoga oftentimes get injury in that area. So just be careful. I really don't do a lot of asymmetrical stuff like this for that very reason. But if it's uncomfortable for you to have both legs in, you might want to do just one leg. Now whether you have one or both legs up, you can massage your belly using one or both of your legs, and that can help to relieve some of your gas pain as well. And if this bothers your knee, again, you can just hold behind your thigh, and you might want to experiment with flexing your foot. I've heard different teachers from different schools say that flexing or pointing the toe is better for relieving the knee or just leaving the foot relaxed. So again, do what feels best for you, and just make sure it feels good. That's really the main key here. So now I'll show you what's best for menstrual cramps. First, I'm just going to check in with the comments that we're getting here live. Hey, Nikki. I already said that, didn't I? And fart like Hercules. You could. You could. Yeah, if you pushed. Well, you don't have to push. Sometimes it just happens. There's a lot of farting that happens in yoga class. Our bodies are so crazy. Yes. Thank you, Lord Hummus. Is my next goal 200,000 super hearts? Sure. Excuse me. It was lit, now I'm mad. Can you do a scope like last time? What do you mean? You do so good as in hell. Thank you. You have the bowl of spaghetti ready? No, I don't have a bowl of spaghetti ready to put my foot in. Okay. Yoga, yoga, yoga. Hey, Dave. Okay. So now we're going to do the reclined position, and I might take several breaths. I might be there for a few minutes, so bear with me. Maybe I'll even bring you guys with me. No, it's fine, it's fine. I'm going to just demonstrate from a distance here. So I'm going to take my bolster pillow, and I'm going to set it onto my setup here. So you might have to adjust a little bit. Maybe I do want it close. Oh, you know what? Is it going to be better like this? No, not usually. Usually I do have it on its short edge. Sorry. I haven't actually built a recliner in a while. I feel like like it's normally like this, but it doesn't seem to be lining up properly that way. Maybe I was wrong. I'm sorry about that. This doesn't seem right, but this will work, so I'm going with it. Again, we're going to go with what feels good to us. So for some reason, I don't know why, maybe it's the length of my bolster compared to the one at the yoga studio, but you just want to make sure that it's going to support you when you lay back onto it. So you can give it a little push, make sure it's sturdy, and make sure that this one, when you put the bolster down, sometimes it catches on the edge here, the front edge, and this back part will lift up and ruin the stability of what you have built. So that looks pretty good. And now I'm going to bring my low back as close as possible to the bolster. And your legs can be in any position. And then I'm just going to lay back. And this is a nice way to open that area. This is good also really just for all of us, because most of us spend too much time hunched forward. We're looking down at our phones, at our computer screens, and we tend to be really hunched. So any chance we get to open up the chest, open up the belly, is usually a good thing. And take some deep breaths. In yoga, we typically breathe in and out through the nose, but you may want to exhale through your mouth, taking a deep breath in through the nose, opening the mouth to sigh it out. Or even yawn. It feels so good, I don't want to stop. Now, if you like yoga like this, and you just want to stay in a nice, comfortable position for a long while and just get some peace and quiet, get some meditation, a restorative yoga class is likely the type of class that you're looking for. Now, I want to show you how you can deepen this stretch. It's still very restorative, but not everyone's going to have the range of motion in their spine. So you might not be able to bend your back as far as this. It might not be comfortable, and in that case, just stick with this recliner. This is what I call the yoga recliner. It's at an angle. It's not totally flat on the ground. To increase this, I'm just going to remove the pink blocks. And don't worry, the blocks come in any color that you like. And same thing, same position. This time I'm going to put my legs in a different position, but just really do whatever feels good for you. So I'm taking Baddha Konasana in my legs by bringing the soles of my feet, the bottoms of my feet together, and my knees are open out to the side. If you want to try this but it feels a little too tight, you can take those same blocks and prop up your knees with them. If your legs don't rest on the ground comfortably, you can prop up the knees with some supports. So I'm just going to bring that in nice and tight to my low back as much as I can, and then nice and easy, lower myself back, and you can see pretty clearly how much more of a stretch I'm getting on that area, opening up this area. Now, if you don't have a bolster and you have cramps and you don't want to wait for your Amazon one-day shipping or however you're going to be able to get a bolster soon, because trust me, you want one if you're practicing yoga at home, then you can do this over a table or over a countertop when you're standing up. You can just lay back on something that's at the right height for you and just open up this area. I've definitely been known to lay back on tables and countertops when I have cramps. And again, we're going to take some deep breaths in and out through the nose. If you want to exhale through the mouth, you can. And see how this feels to your body. And you can stay in any of these positions as long as you're comfortable. I'm feeling really good in this one. This is getting right into my problem area today. But I want to talk about a couple ways that you can modify this and make this even better for you. So if your shoulders don't melt back naturally back to the bolster, then you might want to put little sandbags. So little, what they, just like what they sound like, oftentimes they're used to put on your eyes, little eye pillows, but they have like sand or rice, something inside them to make them a bit of a weight. And you can put those on your shoulders to help them to drop back and to help give that a little bit of a passive release, so you're not pulling your shoulders back, because this is a restorative pose. You just have that little bit of weight on your shoulders. So I don't have any to demonstrate that with, but I'm thinking now maybe I'll put them on my Amazon wish list, because I would like to have them even for myself. Even though my shoulder blades are touching the bolster, I definitely tend not to do this enough, so my shoulders have more of a tendency to be rounded forward rather than rounded back and plugged into their sockets. So something to keep in mind. Another thing here is that some of my clients have had pretty rounded upper spine, so thoracic spines, the part of your spine that's around your rib cage. And if that's pretty rounded and curved forward like this, your head's gonna feel like it's falling back. You're gonna feel almost like you're upside down, and blood might start going into your head, and it might not be as relaxing as it feels for me. So in that case, you can put a pillow under your head. You can use a folded up blanket or a pillow, and I can demonstrate that because I do have a blanket. Most commonly in yoga studios, you're gonna find Mexican blankets, just like the one I have here. And they're very versatile. They fold up into lots of different shapes and sizes. I'm just going to take it the way that I have it and kind of roll it like that. Might even be a little bit too big for me. You know what I'll do? Instead, I'm going to unfold it once, and then I'm going to roll it that way instead. So it's more of a long cylinder. And then, actually, I feel like you'll be able to see better how it's rolled if I turn it this way towards the camera. And then whatever feels comfortable for you. Ideally, you're gonna put your neck on this part. You just depend. You might want to just put the back of your head, the large part of your head here, right onto the pillow. Or you might want to try to work this under your neck, because what that does, a lot of times people lose the word I'm looking for. I'm losing that. Can't think of it. But you lose the I don't know the best word, but you lose the curve basically of your cervical spine. So many of us have forward carried heads, and so this part, which is actually supposed to be curved back, and mine is not very curved that way, so it's not a great example, but your ribs naturally cause a bit of a hunch, and then your low back has a dip in, and your back of your neck is supposed to have that same dip. So a good way to facilitate that is by putting a support under the neck. But again, see what feels good for you. And you may have to move your support around a little bit. That's perfect for me, right where it was. I guess I know how long my torso is. So you can see how it's under my neck. So it's helping to facilitate the cervical curve of my spine. But then it's also supporting my head. So my head isn't falling back. Now yours might still be. And if that's the case, then you can move it up like this to support your head so you don't feel like your head is falling back. But this feels quite good to me, so I'm going to leave it like that. Another way you could have your legs is feet on the floor. And again, if you can keep your palms up to the sky, this is going to help to open up your chest and shoulders, which is giving you an additional benefit. I'm straightening my legs because I am trying to get a pretty good opening here for my uterus. And after a few breaths here, you can stay here. I'm going to get up just so I can come over and check in with you guys in the comments. I hope you can hear the crickets here. And in yoga, you always want to move mindfully. You always want to see how each movement feels to your body, and don't rush anything. Don't move too quickly. Hey Dominique, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't done yoga in a while. Hey Sandra. Is anyone home? Me and my husband, or boyfriend, I don't know why I called him my husband. Sleeping position. Yeah, you could fall asleep like that probably. But if you did fall asleep that way, at least you're in a good position that supports your posture. Most of us sleep in positions that do not help with our posture at all. A lot of us sleep in these curled up fetal positions with our head on a pillow, so it really kind of jacks up our spine. Have you ever woken up after sleeping wrong and your neck hurts and it hurts to look a certain direction? And so if you fall asleep like that, more power to you. Hey Mark. A chair helps, and breathe. A chair helps. What do you mean by that? Hey Jake, how are you? That'd be me. Yeah, falling asleep, that's fine. That's fine. With restorative yoga, that's not uncommon. Hey Phoenix. That's how you know you're really fully relaxed. How you been, B? How you doing? So I'm going to show you another one that I think is going to feel good to me, but this is not for beginners. Okay, this isn't really considered a gentle pose, but it's still going to open up this area here, which is going to feel good for my cramps. Hey Kyle. Thank you. Hey Valis, how are you? Holler. How are you, Lapper? You been good? That's good. Happy Saturday night, guys. That's what I like to do on my Saturday nights. Go live, do yoga, talk about my cramps with the world. Alright, so I'm not going to need any props for this one. You might want to use some props, but I'm just going to demonstrate the way that it's going to feel best for me and see what you guys think. This is called, why can't I think of anything today? I have weird brain fog. This is Hero's Pose. We got it. So you can do diamond pose, which is just sitting on your heels. Two options for diamond pose. I'm going to turn back so you can see. You can either sit so your heels are poking right up towards your sit bones, the bottom of your hip bones. Your hips are like a butterfly shape here, and they go down and they form those bones that if you're thin like me and you can feel the bone poking out through your butt, you have a quote-unquote bony butt, that's actually your hip bone. So you can poke your heels right towards that. Oftentimes in diamond pose, we bring the arms up overhead to lengthen the sides of the spine. Coming into temple mudra with the pointer finger and thumb released, but the rest of the fingers are folded. Try to keep the shoulders down and away from the ears, top of the head reaching towards the ceiling, and taking some deep breaths. You can continue like that, or if you prefer, you can kind of roll your heels to the outsides of your hips and sit more on the inner arches of your foot. It's still diamond pose, same thing. If you did this once on the other side, then do interlace the fingers the opposite direction this time. Deep breaths. And now, hero's pose, you actually are separating the feet so that your hips can sit, so you're actually sitting on the floor, and you might have to kind of pull your calf muscles out to the side a little bit there. As you can tell, I haven't been good with practicing my yoga. I'm not sure if I can do this pose tonight, but we're gonna try it. Stretch my feet and ankles a little bit and give it a shot. So in full hero's pose, we're laying down on our backs. So you're gonna go down gently. And breathe deeply. Alright, and come up the same way we came down, nice and easy, using our arms to support us. And then you can release the legs, maybe crossing the ankles behind you, so you can sit back behind them, coming right to a cross-legged pose, like so. Actually gonna straighten my legs a little, give my knees a little break. And that feels pretty intense on the quads, but if you feel it a lot in the knees, don't do it. Like I said, not a beginner pose, not one that most people are going to want to try. And even I was having a little bit of difficulty with that, not because of my knees, but I'm not really sure. It was more just tightness, generalized tightness throughout my lower body, probably from doing a lot of treadmill and not a lot of yoga. The importance of keeping a regular yoga practice. So thanks for keeping me accountable, guys. I have been taking classes for 2 weeks, not yoga classes, but school classes, and some things have taken a back burner for that. I'm going to put my hair up for the next one so my hair is not in my face. And I'm just sitting in a comfortable cross-legged position. You can really sit however's comfortable for you. Sometimes I prefer Burmese pose, where my feet are uncrossed. My ankles aren't actually crossed on top of each other, but one foot is just in front of the other. And then you imagine drawing the knees apart, opening up your seat. You can even reach back and grab your tush and pull that meat, that lovely juice, the neck juice, out into the side to get a nice wide base of support. For me, I prefer being cross-legged for this one. But same thing, you can still do that with your seat. So I'm going to place my left hand down right next to my hip. You can look down at it, make sure it's next to the hip. You don't want it to be forward of your hip. You don't want to be back behind your hip. You want to look at your hip, right here, your side, and be coming straight out from there. Inhale, right arm up, palms facing towards my head. I'm going to take a deep breath in. As I exhale, I'm going to reach up and over to the left, and this might actually allow my hand to walk out to the side. You may even come onto your forearm, but you don't want to be crossing down, reaching like this. You want to be open, maybe even look up to the ceiling, so that your arm, shoulder, hip, rib, they're all in alignment with each other, even your ear. So you're getting a nice stretch in the side body. Keep your right hip down towards the ground. And we're going to bring ourselves back center. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So now the right hand is next to the right hip. Oh, that felt so good. Oh, let's switch our legs too. So we're going to switch which leg is in front. If you want to take this opportunity to straighten your legs, bounce your knees, roll your ankles, both directions. And windshield wiper the legs and feet. And don't compare yourself to however I look in these poses. Even though I haven't been doing my yoga practice lately very much, I have been doing yoga for 6 years, and actually 6 years now, I believe. And I'm naturally flexible. So you're probably stronger than I am. I don't have a lot of strength, but I am pretty flexible. So don't think like, oh, this is gentle, I can't even do that. Well, it's okay if your pose just stays right here and you're just lifting up and maybe you get a little bit of a stretch, and that's perfectly fine. I would rather you be like this than to mess up the structure and be twisting and potentially injure yourself just to try to get closer to the mat, because that's not even stretching the right muscles. Okay? So inhale. And then we're going to exhale doing the same thing. I'm going to make sure I'm demonstrating properly. Up and over. And then we can move the hand out. Keeping the left hip down this time. And keep your shoulder down away from your ear. You don't want to be using your shoulder to exaggerate the stretch. You want to keep your shoulder down. And come back center. We want, you can get a little neck action here, just looking over the right shoulder, looking over the left. Coming center, take a breath in. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, center. Exhale, chin up to the ceiling. Stop when you want to. You don't have to go all the way back. I'm going to take a few breaths here because it feels good to me. You can come back to center whenever you like. I've been looking down at my laptop so much for schoolwork that feels amazing. Sometimes I sit on the floor and just put my head back on the couch cushions. That's a good way to do it too, a supported way to do it. And then I'm going to mindfully lower my left ear to my left shoulder, keeping my right shoulder down. maybe start to rotate my chin to the sky. And then the other way, looking down over my left shoulder. And then bringing the left ear back to the left shoulder. And center. Oh, it feels so good. And then let's switch legs again, since we've been there for a while. Again, if you want to stretch the legs, bounce legs, windshield wiper between, be my guest. Right ear to right shoulder. Left shoulder stays down. If you'd like, maybe see about bringing that chin up to the sky. And then all the way down, looking over your right arm. And then bringing the right ear back to the right shoulder. And coming back center. Oh, I definitely need that more on my left side than my right. A lot of like cracking and popping on the other side. So I think I'm actually going to do the other side one more time. Try to work out some of those kinks. I don't have a massage scheduled for a little while, so I got to do it myself some way. Oh yeah, I'm hearing lots of cracks and pops. I'm just going to do this a few times. Making sure to keep breathing. Keep my heart lifting. Very interesting, weird sensations. Kind of feels like it's around my eye, like some muscles that are around my skull, all the way even into my forehead and around my eye. It's pretty interesting. I'm just gonna explore that. That's why I'm closing the eyes, so I can really tune into my body and what my body's telling me. And this is actually a good example of what you guys should do too. When you find a pose that you're like, ooh, that was interesting, or that felt really good, just keep doing it, or hold it for longer. You don't always have to follow me. Like right here, feeling some weird popping. Huh. How very odd. I'm creaking like an old tree. Interesting. I wonder if that indicates tension around the eyes. Let's do a little massage, a little face massage. That can feel really good since we were just talking about getting massages. You can go around the eyeball. Don't press on your eyeball. Just go around like your eyebrow. Around the outside. You'll feel the bone. You can push on that. Feels good. The temples. The forehead itself. And into the scalp and hairline. Really, just massage whatever feels good for you. My ears like to be massaged. I even like having my face massaged like this. I know it looks weird, but it feels great. And remember, I can't see you, so you might as well do it. I'm doing it, so. It looks silly, but it feels so good. Oh, down into the neck and shoulders. Give yourself some love. Saturday night. You probably had a long week. Roll the shoulders. Yeah, we're going to do some twists. So I'm going to switch legs again. Taking a deep breath in. I'm going to exhale and twist to my right. Doesn't matter how far you twist. My left hand crosses across the front of me. My right hand comes back behind me. Don't do that. I have a bad habit of cracking my back like that. Make sure your spine stays tall. Don't lean onto your backhand. Don't lean onto your backhand. You're just gonna have like fingertips down just to help keep the right shoulder open. Inhale, center. Switch the legs. Thanks for all those hearts, light blue hearts. And then exhale to the left. Again, don't do what I just did to crack your back. Probably not a good thing. Certainly not anything I learned in yoga. And inhale, center. I'm going to take a little water break, so remember to hydrate your body too. And I'm going to check in with these comments here too. Hey, Noelle. Aw, thank you, Valis. What do I know about Mercury retrograde? When will it end? I don't know anything about that, but Google probably knows. Hey, no more. Taylor, last scope we muted. Last scope we muted? What? That was good. Oh yeah, I blocked that person on this broadcast. Yeah, I didn't actually check the moderation on the last broadcast because I was in so much pain. I went straight to the bathroom. I left my phone with Ed. Okay, we've actually been going for about 45 minutes, so that was what I would call a nice, gentle, restorative practice. Thank you, Rhodey. I thought they were blue, but they're actually aqua super hearts. So now we're going to meditate, my favorite part. Now I like to cover myself up with a blanket for this one because sometimes I get a little chilly. And yeah, I know, Noelle, you don't have to repeat it. It was nasty when you said it, and it's still nasty now. Like I said, I've blocked them. So I don't want to relive it. 43 minutes, not 45 yet. You know what, Rhodey? Here's my stinky sock. Smell it. Smell. My sock is in your face. Smell it. Smell it. Yeah, that's why I blocked him, yeah. Yay, Julia! Yes. Oh, my cramps, my uterus. Ew. Smells pink. Thank you, Noelle. Noelle knows my feet don't stink. Alright, so I'm just gonna, you can use props like we were doing. You saw some of those poses in the beginning. Some people said, ooh, that's like a sleeping pose. You can do those for smell-o-vision. Well, I don't think they smell like nothing. Unless I just always smell like whatever it smells like. Hey, thank you for the love emoji. So I'm not going to use any props myself. I'm just going to cover myself up with my blanket. Oh my god, my cramps. You have them too, Julie? Oh my god, we're synced up. We're synced up. Sleeping pose. That's what some people were calling it earlier when I was doing those restorative back bends. So now I'm going to lay down in what's called Shavasana. I'll show you before I put my blanket on. So you just lay down. You might want to put a pillow under your head if it's not comfortable. You might want to put something under your neck like we talked about. You might want to put something under your knees if it's not comfortable to have your legs straight. Or you can just bend your knees. Some people like to meditate seated. Sometimes I go through phases where I prefer that myself, but definitely not tonight when I'm having these really bad cramps. So just do whatever feels good. You're gonna hear me say that a lot if you take yoga with me. So do whatever feels good for you. And I'm gonna cover myself up with a blanket because our body temperature actually drops a few degrees when we meditate because we're not moving at all. So I don't want to be distracted by how cold I feel. So I'm gonna have the blanket and my socks to keep me from. Hey, look, they kind of match, pink and pink. So that I'm not distracted by my body. Because meditation is all about the mind. And now some people think this pose I'm doing right now, this part of the practice, the meditation, is really the hardest part, the hardest pose in yoga, because the intention is not really to move. It's not really about getting stronger or getting more flexible or increasing your balance. It's really about going into your mind and exploring what's there, exploring your very awareness and who you really are, exploring how your body feels. So we start with that. We explore the body first. And I'm going to be quiet once I finish explaining it. Hopefully I don't fall asleep. It's happened before. It would be my first time on Periscope though, so we'll see. And YouTube. We're live on both right now. And you're going to scan your body one piece at a time and allow yourself to fully relax. If you find areas of tension or pain, just let them go, noticing them, and then continuing to scan through the body. Try not to fixate on it, at least not in this meditation. Once you've completed that, which will take a few minutes, I'm just explaining it ahead of time, you're going to focus on your breath. Maybe taking some deep breaths in, or just watching your breath as it naturally flows in and out through your nose. Then you'll take a journey into your own mind. Notice what types of thoughts or feelings are there. Maybe something's distracting you from staying focused on your meditation. And now pick an object of your meditation. Once you've scanned through the body, the breath, and the mind, you'll focus on one thing. Choose anything you like. I'm not even going to make a single suggestion so as not to plant the idea in your mind and allow you to tap into your own creativity and pick something that resonates with you. And at the end of the meditation, I'll guide us all back out gently. if you'd like to continue meditating, you can do that on your own. And when you're done, take some deep breaths to bring some energy back into your body. You may even visualize drawing in energy from the air around you. Bringing some gentle movement back into your body, moving your feet and hands, and then eventually moving your whole body, maybe taking a long stretch or curling up to the fetal position. Anything that feels good for you, take your time. And eventually you're going to roll onto one side using your lower arm as a pillow. Take a few moments with your other hand on the earth. Close your eyes and visualize something that's no longer serving you in your life. A habit, a job, a relationship. Something you're ready to let go of. Envision this thing leaving you out through your hand, down into the earth, to be renewed and gifted to someone else. And take up anything you want. Visualize it coming to you from the earth, through your hand and into your body. Peace, joy, gratitude, serenity. And when you're ready, you're gently going to press yourself up to seated to close tonight's yoga practice. Bringing the hands together at the heart center in front of you. Bow your chin to your chest. Honor yourself. Inhale your head up. Exhale to bow from the hips, honoring each other. Namaste. The divine light in me honors the divine light in you. In you, in you, in you, in you, in you, in you, and everyone who watches this live and in the future. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being here. Please do follow or subscribe to this channel depending on where you're watching, Periscope or YouTube. I am live on Periscope every single day for 3 hours a day, 7 days a week. So there's a lot of other stuff you can find on this channel and a lot of other faces. And if you just like yoga, I have a whole yoga and meditation playlist on my YouTube channel. Thank you, Matt, for Super Hearts of the broadcast. I really appreciate that. Wrapped like a mummy. Yeah, I probably did look a little bit like a mummy, didn't I? Hey, Alex. You can also support this channel by clicking the link in the profile, nextjuice.com/support, like all of these people have over the last 30 days. Namaste, 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 namaste to every single one of you, up and down and all around the world. Thank you so, so much from the bottom of my heart. I think my boyfriend does love me too. No, we weren't sleeping. You can do positive thinking, yeah, but there's also meditations on death and other things that, you know, may or may not be considered positive. You like the bookshelf? It was pretty cheap from Walmart. I got it from Walmart. Oh, she woke up, no splashing water. You see me moving my head. I'm alive. Yes, I am meditating. Thank you, Noel. I love you guys. American Indian yoga? It's just Indian yoga, I believe. Yoga originated in the country of India. Yeah, I did fall asleep once when I was doing this on Twitch. Hey, K Duke. She'll be alright. She's tough. No, you shouldn't call anyone. So meditation is usually about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, and I didn't have a timer, so I just kind of felt however long I wanted to be down there. Hey, Britt. The cocoon. How long does the cocoon last? I love that you called it a cocoon because that was actually part of my meditation. I was thinking about a butterfly. I was thinking about when I used to cut myself. It was random, came into my head. And I used to cut myself on my left hip back when I used to cut myself. If you don't know that, sorry, surprise, kind of a bad segue. And I have a tattoo there now. And I was thinking that a butterfly tattoo would be a more appropriate tattoo there to symbolize the transformation. You know, that used to be an area where I inflicted pain on my own body, and now I just don't do that anymore. Maybe when I exercise, but only for positive purposes, not because I feel like I am in so much mental pain that I can't make sense of it, so I cause myself physical pain to try to have pain that makes sense. That used to be why I cut myself. And I had a memory that I used to use strange objects. I never used a knife to cut myself. I cut myself with a seashell, a comb, and I remember cutting myself with my own fingernail, and I had forgotten about that until this meditation. I was thinking about butterflies, tattoos, cocoons, how when you're in a cocoon it's so dark and you can't see your way out, and it just feels like it's hopeless and it's just darkness all around you, and there's no light, there's no future, there's no anything. And then if you can make it through that cocoon and you break out of the cocoon, there's so much light, it's almost blinding. It's so much light everywhere you look, and now you can fly and you're a butterfly, and it's just like, wow, you know, what a transformation that really is. King Tut position. Hey Laura, thank you. Hey Max. No, I didn't die. I wasn't sleeping either. Hey Suyag. Yoga's bad for your health. They killed her. No, I wasn't dead. Cramby McCramps, that is me tonight. I'm feeling a little bit better. You guys are making me laugh. Sleep counting down in 10 minutes. No. Exploring the mind can be scary, dangerous. Being mindful. Yeah, hey Dub. Straight came out of cocoon. Yeah, I did, right? That was pretty cool that you said that. A Southwest American Hopi poncho. Hey, I've been to the Hopi reservation at the Grand Canyon, but I didn't go to the reservation. I'm wrong. I went to Hopi Point at the Grand Canyon. Yeah, no, I know why you said cocoon, but it's just funny because you were thinking cocoon. It's almost like, you know, quantum physics. You like put the thought into my head. Alex, thank you for the super hearts. You have cramps, drink water. Well, I have cramps because I haven't have my period. But I will drink water. I have water right here in my next juice water bottle. The Perfect Strangers, guys. I don't know what that is. Oh, but I did look this up when I got home earlier. Oh my god, my laptop's gonna die. Okay, if this broadcast crashes, I'm sorry. I forgot that my laptop's not plugged in. Oh crap. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name. And they're always glad you came. I looked it up. I couldn't remember it again for a second there, but it came to me. You must be meditating when you sleep. It's different. It's different. When you're meditating, you're not asleep. It's different brainwave patterns that are measured. It's more like just being relaxed and awake. It's actually when you go into a state of meditation, your brainwave pattern is more like your alert, awake state than a relaxed state. Your brainwaves actually start to shorten, like you're more focused and more alert. So you fall awake. Great job, yoga mat. Exactly. Thank you, A. I'm glad you think the things I do are positive. I really do try. The whole thing that saved me from that dark period of my life was positive psychology. Yeah. Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive. Good luck on my period. Thank you. I'm glad you like my logo. Wow, we covered a lot of ground in those last few minutes. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be a friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Lean on me. All right, let's stop. Let's stop before we get out of hand here. My cramps are back. That was too much movement. Thank you, Thomas. Well, follow me. I'm going to be live right after this. I'm going to go plug my laptop in upstairs, and I'm going to get ready to go live with some investing information. So we're going to talk about investing. I wrote a book review earlier on my Goodreads channel about the most recent book I read about investing called Rule Number 1 Investing by Phil Town, and I have to run some numbers on a company my boyfriend's interested in, and then I have to start doing some research on the M's. If you've been following, you know what I'm talking about, the M's for some of the other companies, so I can figure out which ETF I'd like to get when I set up my Roth IRA account. So, oh, battery's running low. Okay, I gotta end this so that it doesn't crash out. Thank you guys for being here. It's been completely lovely. Please do follow and subscribe. Check out that link in my profile, nextjuice.com/support, and help us to keep this channel going and growing together. Victoria said the ASMR I did last night put her to sleep. That makes me so happy. Needs more juice. Well, I'm feeling a little low energy because all my body's energy is going into my uterus right now, so this is the best I got for you. But don't worry, Casey will be live. Actually, Casey should be live right now with her juicy juice. How's that? I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching live and on the replay. I hope to see you guys on the next juice. Oh, we're crashing. All right, this has been A Moment in Time with Taylor. I'll see you on the next juice. Ah!